Here we go. We are here with Brandon Roque, and he is running again for Acton-Aguadulce Unified School District School Board, and he's running for his seat again in November. And thank you for meeting with us, Brandon.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll start right off. What is your primary reason for running again for school board for another term?
So, I guess the biggest reason for me is just wanting to give back to the community. At the end of the day, I've been an Acton resident for 20 years. A lot of who I am comes down to my experiences and my teachers, the things I learned in high school, junior high, middle school, and all of that was from the Acton-Aguadulce Unified School District. I started in first grade in Meadowlark and I graduated from Vasquez in 2011. I mean, I owe a lot of who I am today to some of those teachers. So it's really the least I can do. I'm still living in Acton, and I really just want to give back. I want to be able to see our community grow, see our school grow, see our students succeed.
Okay, awesome. What do you feel you have accomplished since you've been on the board?
So that one's a tricky one, to say the least. I've been on for a year, and I mean, throughout the entire year has pretty much been COVID.
Right.
So it's been somewhat difficult to accomplish certain things. A lot of what we've been doing is trying to find solutions to problems as they arise. Mm-hmm. I think my biggest ones were really just pushing for fiscal accountability. That's always a big thing for me. Beyond that, as far as what I've accomplished, I want to say just working with the board to try and find solutions to navigate social distancing, to navigate distance learning, to navigate the whole COVID crisis, and figure out what we can do to at least provide some semblance of a normal year for our students.
Okay. Yeah, it's true. It's only been a year. It goes by fast.
Yeah, it's literally, I think I'm at a year in 2 weeks.
Right. So this may also not fall into, because it's only been a year, it was going to be what have you tried to change or implement but haven't been able to do. But I think COVID has a lot to play in that. So
COVID unfortunately does. A lot of that, it's things I wanted to implement. A lot of my focus was on school and student security, providing a safe and healthy learning environment for our students. Mm-hmm. That's always been a big thing for me, especially, I mean, within a couple months of me joining the school board, the Saga shooting happened. And that really put into perspective the need for security. And there's no real easy way to do that. So we did explore a lot of different options, and the Raptor system is fantastic. So I guess one of the things that I wish I would have still been able to do that unfortunately got put on hold to a certain extent would just be to explore those possibilities more to provide a more cohesive and safe learning environment for our students. The other thing is really just supporting our sports, supporting our students more. Unfortunately, with everything being distance learning, with everything being Zoom meetings, things like that, it's very difficult to find out what our students are going through, seeing where I can help. And that's a big issue.
What has been the greatest challenge thus far? I'm sure it's COVID. But
I feel really bad that all my answers feel like they're
well,
just
I mean,
COVID.
it's been most of the year, so.
I mean, greatest challenge with any person just joining the school board, I guess it's a very steep learning environment. Mm-hmm. Trying to figure out where you stand as a board member, what your priorities are, what a board actually does, what we're able to do, what leans more towards the district, the specific principles, CSEA, things like that. So a lot of it was just the learning environment, and then, I mean, facing a pandemic that no one saw coming. I can honestly say I've learned so much in the last year just trying to figure out what to do with this pandemic and where we can put things in place. And I hate to say it, like, as much as this pandemic was a terrible thing, it was a good thing when it comes to adding new sources for education, adding a different ideal, a different mentality to how we provide an education. Okay. So obviously COVID is going to be the biggest hurdle that I've ever had to face as a board member. But it's also, I don't want to say an inspiration, but it's been an interesting learning experience, to say the least.
Yeah. Do you feel that public opinion has been fair to the board this in your year that you've been on the board?
Ultimately, yes. At the end of the day, public opinion, it's opinion at the end of the day, and everyone has their own opinions. Everyone views certain things in their own light. At the end of the day, unfortunately, as much as I wish I could make everyone happy, it's not possible. A lot of the public opinion I've experienced has been very valid. Some of it has been a little short-sighted when it comes to the amount of information that's come out when the opinion was formed. But after more information came out, after the district provided a statement, after we saw everything that happened, I saw that public opinion changed, and for the most part, it's been very supportive. In the end, it's always difficult to know when you're forming an opinion what information is correct, what's not, and how to form that opinion. So at the end of the day, whether it's good or bad, if it's good, awesome. I look at it as we're doing a good job. If it's bad, I take it as constructive criticism. Where can we go to succeed? Because at the end of the day, yes, I'm a board member. Yes, I'm the person that makes the votes. But ultimately, I'm elected to represent our community, our students, and that's what I'm here to do. I want to know what people think. Whether it's good or bad, that's what I want to know. Because that's where I can start to change things. That's where I can fight to help.
Okay. Good job.
Sorry, that was pretty long.
No, that's good. That's good. What are some of improvements for the future that you foresee with the district, if any?
So some of the improvements are a lot in terms of mentality within our community. Obviously, we can be more transparent with certain things, and we've been striving for that. Superintendent King, with his videos, the chats he's been doing, has been fantastic. I always believe transparency is key. Obviously, there's some things we can't be transparent about, specific personnel or student issues.
Right.
But as much information as we can provide to let our community know what's going on is a key factor for me. Beyond that, hopefully finishing out the last little bit of construction on Vasquez, hopefully continuing to implement some of the distance learning programs, being able to provide alternative educations to students. That's a big thing. No student learns the same.
Okay.
So having those different options, I mean, this has definitely been a testament to the possibilities of homeschooling, the possibilities of online schooling, of charter schooling. So I think we've learned a lot from that, and it's something I hope to see investigated more, and to see how we can implement a lot of these ideas into our normal curriculum. And then the biggest thing for me is just striving for a more competitive environment when it comes to our teachers. At the end of the day, with small districts, it's always difficult to provide the same benefits as a big district. So doing what we can to support our teachers, that will always be a big thing for me. Because at the end of the day, it's heartbreaking when you see a teacher that truly cares about her students, truly cares about what they do, loves what they do, but unfortunately just can't stay because of a lack of benefits or things like that. And I think our school has made some positive improvements in that circumstance, and I want to see more growth in there to at least support our students, or I apologize, our teachers, our faculty, our classified and unclassified personnel.
Okay. And lastly, do you feel that you'd like to say anything to the community or make a statement at all at this time? Or
yeah, ultimately, I just want to thank everyone for the patience during this crisis. I want to thank everyone for their support of me. I mean, it's being a 27-year-old joining a school board, especially a school board that you grew up in the district, that's huge. That's not something you see every day. So the amount of support I've received, the amount of people that truly believe in me it's amazing, to say the very least. Obviously, there's a lot of things I wish I could have done that unfortunately COVID kind of put a damper on, but I'm going to keep striving for the ideals I believe in, and I think the ideals that our community believes in. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I represent our community. If any of you want to reach out, please do. I want to know what you think, because that's how I can better represent you, our community, our students, our teachers. That's what I'm here to do at the end of the day.
Okay. Well, thank you for meeting with us, and good luck to you in November.
Thank you for
And
having
thank
me.
you for your service this year, and also for everything you do in the community as far as your other work that you do too. That's a lot of work too. Thank you.